Okay, so welcome back everyone. I'm just going to start the second session. So in this session, we will do RC design for a RC frame. So I will show you the RC frame also. So here it is an example which you will get in your StatPro software also. So here it is a tutorial from the StatPro. So okay, yeah. So here you are seeing frame. The height of this beam is 3.5 meter and the length is here it is 6 and 6. Okay, so that means this frame is along the x, z and y direction. All three dimensions has been used here. The one thing in this image is wrong, that is the beam number. So this beam is of number of this beam is 5 and this one is a 4. It is printed it is print wrong here, so I just change it in the next form. I just manage it. I just write the 5 and 4 here. So just consider it according to this, because in the description of the project you can see member properties beam is 2 and 5 and column is 1 and 4. So there are total 3 columns, 1, 3 and 4. It is written by me 4. I just added this PDF through the software. That's why the column number is first column is number of the first column is 4, second is 3, and the next one is column number 4. And you can see it here, column 1, 4 and column 3, 1, 3 and 4. And the beam is beam number 2 and 5. So it is 2 and here it is 5. So if you go through the software, this file, so it may be you will be get confused. That's why I just note down it. I just change it to the 5. Okay. Now come to the details. So first I will create the structure according to this. Then after that I will read the basic data for this structure, like the member properties, support detail, load and other things. Okay. So one more thing, this structure, the data is provided for the ACI code, that is the American Code Institute. So that's why I will do it according to the Indian Design Code. Okay. So let's see how we will do it. So first, just check your dimensions. So height is 3.5. Let me note it. Yeah. So I will create a beam of 3.5 meter length. Then I will use the translational repeat along the x-axis with the distance of 6 meter. So just see, open a grid here. Just change the spacing to 3.5 directly along the y. Sorry, not along the x. Still along the y only. It is 3.5. Okay. That means a 3.5 meter beam has been created. So you can create it on this. The height is 3.5 meter. Now I will use the translational repeat, and the global direction for the translation repeat will be x, and the spacing will be 6 meter as it is in your stat project, and link this and click on the open base also, so that the base will not link. Okay. Now I will select this beam, and again it will be along z axis and the spacing of 6 meter. Once again, just select this beam, use the translational repeat, axis will be z, spacing will be 6 meter, and link, then open base. Okay. So you can see our frame has been created. Now I will save this file. Next thing, you have to provide the properties. So here in the properties, let's see everything. Member properties, beam number 2 and 5 is of rectangular shape with the property of 275 by 350 mm. Okay, but remember, first thing you before defining and creating the member properties, we have to read everything very properly. Like material constant, it is changed to the 22 kilonewton per mm square. Density is 17 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, Poisson ratio is 0.17. Okay, I will change it to the stat editor also. That is your. Let me define the properties. So either change the properties to the material option. So for this you have to create a new material here, but sometimes creating the material, it will be very it will take too much time to change it from here. So I will change it from the command file, that is your stat editor. Okay, so I will just create a will provide the property, go to the define. First was the rectangular, and the thickness for this rectangle is 275 mm, that is 0.275, and the width is 0.35. So when I write the 0.275 here, 0.275 and 0.35, and click on the OK. So you can see it is written the 0.28 by the round off value, but it is when you edit it, you can see it is 2.75. Okay. Because here it is it will show the value up to the 2 decimal points. Okay, that's why it is shown here 0.28, but it is 0.278. Now next thing is, let me add this property, because whenever I apply the properties, most of the time software will crash, so that's why I will assign it. So it will be for the beam number 2, and here beam number 4. You can see here it is the beam number 2, and here it is the beam number 4, as it is shown here, but in our details it is 5. So that means you can change the beam numbers also. If you want to change your beam number here with the name of beam number 5, so you can change it here also, or just ignore because it doesn't matter also. Still, if you want to change it, so you can change it through the stat editor. Go to the command file and change the name. Yeah, 4. Just write the 5 here and write the 4 here. And when you close it, now it is beam number 5. That's the very simplest way of changing the beam numbers, because changing the beam number from the renumber option, here it is sometimes very complicated. That's why the best option is just change the number through the utilities. Okay, so I just change this beam number to 5 and this one to beam number 4. Okay, according to the our PDF file detail, it is beam number 4 now. So yeah, now I'm just going to assign this value. It has been removed. Okay, let me define it one more time. 0.275 and 0.35. Now assign this value here. Click on the assign to the selected beam. Yeah, it is done. It doesn't crash this time. Uh, okay. Now come to the next property. Go to the define again. This time this property is for the columns. So column 1 and 4 are in rectangular shape and the column number 3 is circular shape. So for the column 1 and 4, property is 275 mm by 300 mm. 1 and 4 means here, this is one be 1 and 4. So go to the rectangular again, provide the value 0.275 by 0.3, and this will be for the column number 1 and column number 4, and assign it to the selected beam. Now come to the define again. A circular column, and the circular column's diameter is 350 mm. It is for the column number 3. Here it is your will be your column number 3 with the 350 mm diameter. That means diameter 0.35. Okay, that is your 350 mm, and we can assign it to the this beam, or you can write the beam number 3 and assign it, so that this is will be assigned through the edit list also. In the properties, next thing is we have to add the beta angle also. So let's see where it is. For the column number 4, it is rotated by the 90° with respect to the default condition. Okay, so for the column number 4, we will provide the beta angle. So column number 4, it has the property of R2. So go to the beta angle and create the beta angle. I give the value to the 90°. Okay, and this beta angle will be assigned to this beam. So just this column, just select this column and assign to the selected beam option and click on the assign. So it has been rotated at a degree of 90° angle. Next thing is your modulus of elasticity and density and Poisson ratios. So they change this value according to the ACI code. Maybe if I change this code to the 22 kilonewton per mm square, sometimes in the output we will get warnings also. Maybe so we can change it. So how can we change it? Just go to the utilities menu, first save it at to this point, then go to the command file. So under the command file we have the Poisson ratio value, density value, and elasticity value here. So here we will change this value. We can copy the value, we can note down the values from here also, like here you can see the model of elasticity is 22 kilonewton per mm square. So we will change the value to the 22 here, and Poisson ratio is of 0.17, so it is the 0.17 already. Density is of 17 kilonewton per meter cube. So I will change the value to the 17 here. So we can change it, but most in the last class when I do it, so the software was giving an error and warning for this material constant. So that's why I am not going to change it. I will provide it according to the Indian design code, because this example is done on the ACI code. I will show you. Here it is in the output. I will show you. Let me open it. Yeah. When you read this file, you will see that everything, each and every step has been defined here. Yeah. So you can see all the steps are written here. Up to this point, you can read these steps and can analyze. So here in the complete design, the code is the ACI, but we will do this analysis for the Indian design code. Okay. Now come to the next point. Next thing is your loading. So I will close it without changing these values and go to the loading. Before the loading, we have to apply the support also, and here the support is fixed support at base of all columns. So we will create the support Go to the support menu and click on the create, select the fixed support, add, and this fixed support will be assigned at each node at the bottom and assign it to the selected node and click on yes. So all the assigned with the support. Now come to the loading. So here you can see one more thing. Load case 1 is the dead load, and dead load, please read it very carefully. I'm just going to explain it also. Under the dead load, first thing will be self weight of the structure. Then next is beam number 2 and 5. On the beam number 2 and 5, there is a 400 kg per meter. This is not kilonewton. It is a 400 kg per meter load along the global Y downwards. Due to the gravity, it will be downwards. Then after, it is the dead load of that particular sort of structure. Then next thing is the load case 2. It is the live load. And on the beam number 2 and 5, there is a load of 600 kg per meter in global Y downward direction. Load case 3 is the wind load. So important thing is here, for the wind load we have to give the definition, because when we give the definition, we didn't apply the exact impact of the wind load. Okay, we will give the wind speed, that is the intensity of the wind and the type of the structure, everything, and then through the software will calculate the height versus intensity diagram. That means at at a particular height we will get a tabular report. That means if it is of a 15-meter height, then there will be the parameters like at a 1 meter height.
अमित जी,
what will
आपका
be, yeah,
आपका ऑडियो थोड़ा कम हो रहा है.
let me
Now
is
it's
it
okay.
clear now?
Yeah, now it's very good. हाँ, पहले बिल्कुल
Yeah,
कम.
just wait.
Sorry.
I'm just setting my microphone. Just wait. Uh, is it clear to everyone now?
नहीं, अभी कम हो गया, पहले ठीक था.
Let me just wait. I'm just removing my microphone.
कोई बात.
Yeah. So is it clear now? Am I audible?
थोड़ा सा कम है अभी और.
Let me arrange it. Yeah. So am I audible now?
Yeah, now it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay.
Okay, sir. So thank you, sir. Okay, so just see. Sometimes I was explaining the wind load definition. So if I provide the wind definition, that means software will calculate the wind intensity. That means the amount of wind load which will apply on the software, which will apply on your structure. So if you know these values, that means you can calculate this value manually also, and then you can directly add the wind load through the wind load command. That means you don't need to define the definition. Sometimes whenever this load case is not available, in that condition we have to give the wind intensity and structure type and all these values. Okay, so here in this example we have the load impact of the wind directly. That's why we will not do the we will not define the wind definition. So but in the next session I will do an example where we will give the definition also. Okay, so I will analyze the structure by both these methods. Okay, so I will continue. So come to the load case again. So first is your dead load. So in the stat pro, just click on the load case details, click add, select the dead and provide its name. BL. That is your dead load. Now click on the add, select the dead load, again click on the add. Now see the value of the dead load. It is sulfate of the structure. So first I will directly add it through the sulfate. Direction will be y, factor will be -1, and click on the add. Okay, and assign it to the view. But before defining next value, that is the 400 kg per meter, we have to change the unit setup. Okay, because default we have the unit setup in kilonewton. You can see it here. When I add the member load, you can see it is in kilonewton per meter. Okay, that means we have to change the unit in kg, or just convert the 400 kg per meter in into the kilonewton per meter. Okay, so through the geometry menu, go to the input, custom settings. So here just change the force unit to the kilogram. Okay, select the kilogram and click on the apply. So now in the load case detail, under the dead load, member load will be shown in kg per meter. Okay, now see the value. It is 400 kg per meter along the global y direction in the downward direction. Okay, that means we will provide the value -400 here and add. We will give the we will add these values, and then now, and in the last I will assign this value one by one. So next load case is your live load. So go to the live load again. Let me check one more thing on which beam it is applying. Yeah, it is going to apply on the 2 and 5. So I can apply it directly here. Just select the beam number. Just select the beam number 2 and 5. Okay, and assign it to the selected beam. Click on the assign. Go to the load case detail, click on add. Next load case is your live load. Give it the name LL. So under the live load, beam 2 and 5. Yeah, and the value is 600 kg per meter. So again, under the member load, we will add the value -600 kg per meter. You can see the unit here. It is in the kg per meter. Okay, and the direction is the global y. Add close. This will again assign to the selected beam. So assign it. Next load case is your wind load. That is the load case 3. So go to the load case detail again. Click on add. Select the wind load. That is the wind. Name it W WL. That is the wind load. Okay. Close it. So here in the wind load, the value is wind load. On the beam 1, it is 300 kg per meter along the positive x direction, and along the beam 4 it is 500 kg per meter along the positive global x direction. Okay, 1 and 4. So here this is your beam number 1 and this is your beam number 4. So wind is coming from the x-axis. That's mean wind is coming from the x-axis and the direction is towards the positive x-axis. That's why it is written here positive global x. Okay, so on the beam 1 it is 300 kg per meter. So go to the wind load, click on the add, and this wind load will be uh, assigned on this particular member. That's why we will use the member load here. Okay, and the value is 300. Don't use the minus sign because here the direction is from the positive global x. That's why we will use the select the gx here and click on the add, and this will be assigned on the beam number 1 and assign it to the selected beam. Click on the assign. So you can see the wind direction will be from positive x, and you can see the direction also. If I use the value minus 300, then the direction will be reversed. Then that means the direction of wind will be from positive to negative x axis. Same on the beam number 4, it is 500 kg per meter. So under the wind load, select the wind load, click on the add, give the member load again. This time it is of 500 along the GX, add it, and it will be assigned on the member number 4. So select the member number 4 and click on assign to the selected beam and click on assign. Okay. The selected load case will be shown with the blue color. If I select the load case GX3, here it is. Now come to the next load case, that was the load combination. So here they have the load case 4. This is a combination of dead plus live load, and the combination 5 is dead plus wind. So here they are using it through the repeat load. So you can use the repeat load also, or you can add this value through the defined combination also. So we have total two types of method of creating this load combination, but here it is written please do not load combinations. That means we will use it through the repeat load. So how we will use it? Just so, come to the load case detail, click on the add. Okay. So here under the auto load combination, we have an option create repeat load cases. Okay. That means here we will not use these load combinations method like IS456 code, then IS code, then generate load. Okay. It will create 1, 2, 3, almost 4 to 13. Okay. That means almost 9 combinations. But here in this software they are asking for only two types of load combinations, load case 4 and load case 5, and the value for the load case 1 is L1. That means load case 1 with a multiplication of 1.2. L2, that is your load case 2, that is live load, with a multiplication of 1.5. So load case 1 was your dead, or 2 was your live, and same, just see it. Yeah, here dead plus wind. So the load combination third, here it should be written L3, or you can see it here from here also. L3 was your load case 3 wind. Okay, load case 3 was your wind load. So just creating the load combination first, 1.2 and 1.5. Okay. So click on the select the load case details, click on the add, go to the auto load combination, click on the create repeat load cases. Okay, discarded load combination, load generation, let me edit. Mm, just wait. Just remove them. Yeah. So load combination 4 was 1.2 and 1.5. So just select it, 1.2 and 1.5. Yeah. So in the load combination method, we are not getting the 1.2 and 1.2. So we have an option of define combination. So select the dead load 1 and live load. So just select these two load and add them. So load case 1 was of 1.2. So just change the factor to the 1.2 here. And load case 2 was 1.5. Add. Okay. Then next combination was of dead plus wind. And it was again 1.1 and 1.3. Okay. Okay, all these combinations can be done through the here also. Here you will get the combination method from the top also. There is the reference load case, load items, everything. Yeah. Okay. Next thing will be the analysis procedure. I will show you the analysis options also. So come to the file again. Analysis type, they are doing the P delta. Okay. And the concrete design is for the load case 4 and 5 only. Okay. So first we will do the primary analysis. Then after we will do the concrete analysis also. Okay. So go to the analysis option, analysis command, all, add, close, and analyze it. Okay. Now we will do the concrete design. Let me check one more thing from the command file. Okay. So before doing the concrete design, we have to change the unit into the Newton square, because concrete design parameter is shown in the Newton per square. That's why we will change the concrete design type. That means we have to change the unit type. Come to the input unit, custom. Length will be in and force will be in Newton. Then press yes. You can see it in the Newton per square. That's why. Okay. Then here we are getting two parameters like ultimate strength of the steel is 415 Newton per square. FC value, that is the concrete strength, that is the FC value, it is given 25 Newton per square. clear cover top, clear cover bottom, and clear cover for the side. It is this data is written here according to the ACI value. Under the Indian design code, we will get only the clear cover value and clear top values. So I will show you those in your Indian design code also. So come to the design option that you will get at the last topic or under the analysis and design. Here we have an option concrete design. So we can click on the concrete design. Then after just select the Indian design code, that is the IS 456. Then come to the define parameters. So here are few parameters like bracing, that is the CLB, clear cover for the outermost bottom, that is the clear value, that is the clear cover for outermost top reinforcement. Okay, so here we have the clear cover for the top, clear cover for the bottom, and clear cover for the side. But check this value, we have the clear cover for the bottom reinforcement for the top, but we don't have this clear cover value for the side. Okay, so I will, because we are doing it for the Indian design code, but in the ACI code you will get the clear cover for the side also. So we have to give only few definitions here, not all the values, because whenever we will analyze it, some values like FC value, that is the compressive strength of concrete, FY main, that is the yield strength of the main reinforcement bar, all these data will be assigned according to the Indian design code. So I will start from the, if you don't provide any clear cover value, then it will take the default values. Like for the beam, it will get the 25 mm to 30 mm cover value, and for the column, it will get the 40 mm cover value. Okay, if I don't provide any value, then software will get its default value. Okay, so I'm just going to provide the FC value. It is given 25 Newton per mm square. So I will change it to the 25 and click on add. Next was your FY main. That is the yield strength of the main reinforcement bar. It is 415. Then FY secondary, that is the yield strength of the shear reinforcement bar. This will be for your stirrups. Okay. Then maximum size of the main reinforcement bar and all things. Let me check it is given or not. Now they have only the cover value. So I will explain these values also. What is the max main and what is the max secondary. So for this, I will show you an structure here, an image. So here in this format, you can see at the top there are 4 bars with a brown color, or you can see it in the red also according to this screen. So this is your main reinforcement bar, and here we have a two-legged stirrups, and these stirrups will be known in our stat pro as a shear reinforcement or secondary reinforcement. Okay, this will be your main reinforcement, it is your secondary reinforcement. So we will provide in the concrete design a minimum to maximum value. That means we will provide a range, and the software will decide the size of the main reinforcement and secondary reinforcement in between that range. Like I just provide the range, like I want to create the I want to uh, uh, if the requirement is at the top, you want to give the main reinforcement bar in between 10 mm to 16 mm bars, then the I will provide the minimum size of the main reinforcement bar to 10 mm and the maximum size to 16, so that the software will provide the bar size in between the 10 to 16 mm. If I change the minimum bar size to 16 and maximum size to the 32 mm, then the main reinforcement bar will be, you will get the output of the main reinforcement bar between the 16 to 32, which you will provide. Okay, same thing happens for the secondary reinforcement also. Most of the time, you know that for the secondary enforcement we use the 8 mm bars. So I will provide the logical values, like I will provide the value for the main second reinforcement bar in between 8 to 10 mm, so that software will most of the time will pick the 8 mm size. Okay, so according to this value we will provide these bars, and the spacing between these will be calculated by the softwares. That means spacing between these stirrups, okay, will be calculated by the software itself. So let's see how we will provide this value. Okay, so here it is the max main, that is the maximum size of the main reinforcement bar. So if you want to add a maximum bar size of 12 mm, so sorry, maximum size of 20 mm, so just provide the maximum size to 20 mm for the max main. Then again here you will get the min main, that is the minimum size of the main reinforcement bar. So I want to provide here I will provide the value to the 12 mm. So some if there is more load and you provide the value between 12 to 20 mm, but in the output it is required more than 20 mm bar size, so software will give you an error or warning. That mean you will get a warning like percentage of reinforcement is exceeded or concrete is failuring is okay. So according to that output we will change these parameters. Okay, so here I just provide the maximum size of the bars to 20 and minimum bar size to the 12. That means the main reinforcement bar will be assigned in between the 12 to 20 mm. Okay, same thing happen for the maximum max secondary, that is the size for the stirrups. So or we can say the shear reinforcement. So for the beam it is known with the name of shear reinforcement, and for the column we call it for the column it will be your tie reinforcement. Okay, so I will select max sec, that is the maximum size of secondary reinforcement 10 mm, and minimum size of min sec, that will be the minimum size, it is 8 mm. Then after it is the ratio. So for the column it will be in between 0.2 to 0.5 percentage. That means here you can read it. 4 means the maximum percentage of the longitudinal reinforcement allowed. That means if the total volume of any column is 100 meter cube, then there will be 4 meter cube volume of the steel and remaining maximum size. Okay, maybe it will, that means it will not provide the value more than 4% of the total volume of your columns. That means there will be 96 percentage of concrete and 4 percentage of 4% of your steel size. Okay, but most of the time you will get the value in between zero point 0.2 to less than 1%. So just add it. Now assign this value to the structure. So FC will be assigned to the complete two. So you can see it here, it is written in the you can see here is a question marks. That means this value has been defined. Now we have to assign this value to the structure. Just select the FC value. FC is the compressive strength of the concrete and it will be assigned on the complete structure. You can see we didn't create the clear cover values. Okay, so software will calculate the cover value according to the default values. I will show you in the output. So just assign this value to the view so that complete structure will get the compressive strength of the concrete, then yield strength of the main reinforcement bar, that will be your steel bars, which is also known as the name of reinforcement. Assign all these value to the view. Then the ratio. Now, after giving these parameters, next thing is your commands. So first thing, we have to do the design beam, then design column, and here slab is not available, so we will not pick the design slab here. So first I will select the design beam, click on the add, design column, add, and takeoff will give you the report of the total, and it will print the total number of the volume, total volume of the concrete and weight of the steel reinforcement. Okay, that means what will be the total volume of the concrete and what will be the weight of the steel. So through the takeoff you can calculate the cost of the required steel also. Okay, so this concrete takeoff will be assigned to the structure by itself, no need to assign it. But for the design beam we have to select the beam, then we have to assign this value to the beam. So for the column we will select the beam which is parallel to the y-axis. So all the column has been selected and assign this value to the, okay, for the design beam and assign it to the selected beam. So design beam and design column has been done. Now analyze your structure one more time, but before analyzing it, it was written in your project only consider the load case 4 and 5. Okay, so how we will add, we will do the concrete design for any particular load case, just see it, we can do it through the load list command. So your load list command will be shown here. Go to the load list and include the load case 4 and 5 only. Okay, and click on OK. Now run the analysis directly. If I don't use the load list command, then the software will analyze the concrete design according to the all load cases. That means load case 1, 2, 3, 4, and load case up to the load case 5. Or okay, so just see it. Yeah. So here we are seeing the output file again. Just maximize it. Okay. So in the result, this was the total applied load. Everything has been already explained. Now come to the concrete design. Just double click on the concrete design. So under the concrete design, you will see this is the parameter which I applied. That was your. You can see that it is the code Indian unit was in mm, and length unit was in mm, and force unit was in Newton. FC value was 25. You can see it which value the parameters which I applied. Then just double click on the beam. So you can see for the beam number 2, concrete grade was N25, FE was 415. Now see the cover value. I already in the beam we will get the cover value in between 25 to 30 mm. So you can see the software assign the cover value 30 mm. Then go to the summary of the reinforcement. So here first we will get the total reinforcement area. That means at the top we have 508 square mm steel. At the bottom it is 173.31. And if you want to see the exact value of, that means the number of the bars, so just come to the summary of the provided reinforcement area. So here you will get at the top reinforcement bars are reinforcement bars are 16 mm dia, and the bar number of bars are 3. Okay, at the start point and at a distance of 1500 mm. Yeah, it is of 16 bars of, and the number of bars are 2. So that means in your output file you will see the maximum bar size of the 3, and you will get the shear reinforcement details also, like stirrups are two-legged. You can see it there. Stirrups are two-legged with a 8 mm dia, and the spacing between the stirrups is 130 mm center to center. Okay, same thing for the column. You can see it. Yeah. So just double click on the column. So you will get the cover value 40 mm, as I already explained. For the cover, for the column we have the default value 40 mm. Then come to the detailing. Main reinforcement is 20 dias 4 bar. Okay. And the tie reinforcement is 8 dias with a spacing of 275 center to center. This is for the column number 1. So column number 1 was your rectangular column, but column number uh, 3, let me check it. Your column number 3 was circular. Okay, it was in circular in shape. That means just see, let me check the column number 3 design. Here it is. So at the column number 3 there are 6 bar of 20 dia, and it has a tie reinforcement of 8 dia at a spacing of 300 center to center. Okay, then directly you can see it, just double click on the beam, so you will get the concrete design. So here for this column we have 4 bars with bar size of 20 dia. For this circular, go to the concrete design, you can see it is in a circular shape, and there are 6 bar. Same you can see for the concrete design also. At the top it is 3, at the bottom it is 5. You can see it in the output also. So go to the utilities, directly click on the analysis output file and go to the beam design. So it was written here. At the bottom maximum bars was 12 dia 5 bars. One more thing I just want to clarify here. In this output you will see that at the bottoms, at a start point, that is the 0 meter distance, the bar is there was total 3 bars, but at a distance of 1500 that is the 1.5 meter, the bars are again of 12 dias 3 bar, but at a distance of 3 meter there are 12 dia 12 dias 5 bars. Number of bars has been increased, but in the real structure, whenever we use it, most of the time we provide the continuous bar, not like this. At the at a start point it was 3, then in the middle it is 5. Okay, it happens in the most of the time it happens in the slab case, because there is the bent up bars and other things, so these bars can be changed in the your in your slab design. So this value is shown here according to this area. You can see at the distance of 3000 the area of the steel is 493. That's why here at a distance of 3000 meter you can see the number of bar has been increased. So this output will give you an idea to create the number of bars. You can create you can calculate the number of bars according to these areas also. Okay, so or to overcome these problems, we do the RC designer. Sometimes whenever you get these types of output from the StatPro, then we have an option of RC designer, but in this latest version RC designer option has been removed. We can't have the RC designer option, but in place of RC designer we have the advanced concrete design. Okay, so through the advanced concrete design we can create the we can do the BBS concrete design again, and this will give you the more accurate data. Okay, so that is a simple example for an RC frame. Same thing, we can analyze any 3D structure of any building also. Okay, so for this I will just open the last project which we completed in the morning session. That was your day 3 STD. Okay, so here we will do the concrete design for this building. Yeah, so up to this point properties, yeah, let me define the property for the beam, because I just create this properties. So go to the define rectangular, it was 0.23 by 0.23. Okay, so now come to the selection method. In the select method we have an attribute option. I want to assign this value to the missing property. So we are here we have an option of missing property. That is the another method of selection. If I click on the missing properties, you will see all the beams which don't have the data, that mean which don't have the properties will be selected directly. This is the another method of selection. Okay, so now assign it to the selected beam. If you want to select all the in our structure, if there is more than 5 to 6 type of properties, then you can select them through the property name or according to the properties also, like by the properties. If you want to select the property, if you want to select the beam which have the property of 0.23 by 0.23, just select it. If you want to select the property which have beam which have the property of 0.3 by 0.35, so you can use the attributes menu also. So in that, these attributes will be available in the your select menu. So in the select menu there is an attribute option. So from attribute we have few different methods, few more methods of selection. Okay, now come to the I just have to check the loading also. Dead load, has been defined. Live load also has been defined. Comments is also defined now. So I will analyze it first for the primary analysis. Then after I will add the now done. So now I'm just going to do the concrete design for this structure. First thing, again, just change the input type. Go to the custom, length in mm and force in Newton. Okay. Then go to the analysis and design again. Go to the concrete design. Select the Indian design code, that is the IS456. Then define parameters. Here I will provide the clear cover value to 30 mm. Okay. Then FC value of 25 newtons. So just change this value according to that. Main reinforcement, you listed for the main reinforcement bar, that is 415. Fy secondary will be same also. Maximum size of main reinforcement bar up to the uh, 20. Let me provide a few less data. So maybe in the output we will get few errors. So we will learn how to change them also. Maximum size 16 mm. Okay. Max secondary of 10 mm. Min of 12 mm. Min secondary of 8. Ratio will be 4. Then go to the commands, design beam, design column, and takeoff. Let me explain the takeoff one more time. I will explain in the output. I will explain this in the output also. So what is that? What data we will get through the takeoff and where it will be shown. Just see. Assign this value to the view. Now come to the design beam. So for the design beam, we have to select the this method members. So we can select it from here also. And for the column, again by the property name, that is the 0.35 by 0.35. Close it and assign to the selected beam. Now run the analysis one more time. So again, we don't have any error and warning. That means I have to change few values to show you the warning. So let me finish the concrete design first. So come to the beam. So here in the beam, for the beam number 1, we have 16 mm, 2 bars of 16 dia at top and 2 bars of 12 dia at bottom. So here the data is very clear. You can see it. There are total 4 bars at the top and bottom, 2 at top, 2 at bottom, and the stirrups is also here. It is 2-legged stirrups of 85 mm. And for the column, it will be same for the remaining beams also. So come to the column. Column has 4 bars of 12 dia. This is 0.37% with a tie bars at a spacing of 190 mm center to center, and the dia is 8 mm. Okay, so you can check it through the properties also. Just double click at any column, go to the concrete design, you can see it here. And for the beam also, concrete design here. So the data is written also. 2 has 16, that is the 2 bar at the top, because this data is written at the top. And 16 dia, and at the bottom it is 12 dias 2 bar. Okay, and we have the stair bendings also from here. Now in the output, I will show you the takeoff also. What is the takeoff? Come to the bottom in the, and here it is the takeoff data. This is the concrete takeoff data. So there are total 3 types of steel bars, 3 size of steel bars: 8 bars, 12 bars, and 16 bars. So 8 bar, total weight of the 8 bar is 24,652 Newton in weight. Okay, that this 8 bar was for the stirrups, 12 16 bar was for the main steel bar, and the total weight of this bar is shown here. That means you can get the total weight of the steel bars, and by which you can calculate the price also according to the your areas. Okay, so the software sometimes help you to calculate the cost of your, to calculate the, that mean it is your quantity takeoff also. So it will give you a data for the steel only, like this. Or you can calculate the concrete value also, like here you are getting the total volume of the concrete. So according to this value, it is the 77.7 cubic meter. So according to this, you can calculate the total through the manual method. You can calculate the total number of bag of cements and concrete grade also. This will help you to calculate the cost of the concrete and steel also. Okay, so that is the procedure of. Now I will change few parameters like properties. For the beam, I'm just going to provide a very less data, like 150 to 150 beam size. Sometimes if the load is too much, then maybe 230 bars will fail. So here there's no in this project load is very less. That's why I'm just going to decrease the bar size. Okay, now I will analyze it. So now we are getting 200 warnings. So let's see which type of warning we will get. Okay, before explaining these warnings, I want to ask, do you have any doubt up to this point? Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to explain the warnings, how to read them, and how to identify which type of warning and what's the mean of these type of warnings. Okay, so let me open the analysis output file again. Yeah. So come to the error list. I will pin it. Let me, yeah. Now it is pinned. So just select the click on the two messages and errors so that the warning will be shown here. So it is showing section fails while detailing. First warning is section fail. Okay. While detailing. Okay. Just double click on this. Well, on this, no bar is available for the reinforcement. That means it is very less. We can't provide the reinforcement here. So I will maybe you have to increase the bar size. That's mean whenever you get this type of warnings, then you have to increase the bar size. So I will increase the bar size, not too much. Let me change it up to the uh, 200 by 150 mm. Let's see what will happen. Go to the analysis and output and run the analysis one more time. Whenever you make any changes here, you have to run the output. So now we have the 60 warning only. Okay. So let's see. Section fail while designing the section. Okay. Warning, section fails while designing the section. That means here it is not calculating the section size. Okay. No bar is available for the reinforcement. So sometimes you will get this type of warnings, or sometimes you will get the warning like percentage of reinforcement is exceeds the design moment limit. That means percentage of reinforcement is exceed. That means reinforcement volume is in excessive in comparison to the concrete. That means you have to change, you have to increase the concrete amount by increasing the column or beam size. Okay, so these type of warnings mostly we will get in our stat output. Okay. Okay, same thing if we will do any slab here, if you have any slab here and there is the thickness of the slab is very less, same thing will be happen, but you will get the output for the elements. That means in for the beam it will show you the percentage value exceed or anything for your member. That mean member means your beam or column, and element will be for the slab. Okay, so I will explain one more structure. Just wait. Okay, I'm just going to create. So just change the value to the one here. Spacing is one. Okay, of 4 meter height. Now select this and use the translation repeat along the z-axis. Spacing is 5 meter. I'm just going to change it to the 4 meter again. Link and open base. Okay. Now I will provide the properties. Going to assign it to the view. Yeah. Now going to add a plate here at the top through the add plate directly. Okay. Yeah, I will prefer the generate mesh because I want to show you the plate stress also. A quadrilateral meshing. The it was so I will provide a division of 1 meter length each. So I will, the length was 4 meters. That's why I'm going giving the division value to the 4 so that it will be divided into the 4 equal intervals. Next thing is support, then assign the support at the bottom nodes. Come to the loading. I will apply only the dead load here. I just want to show you how we will get the slab details. Okay, so I will add here dead load. Live, just wait. Under the dead load, first properties for the slab is missing, so I will give it to the thickness. It is of 0.15, that is the 150 mm. Just add it and assign it to the view, so all the plate will be assigned. Okay, now come to the loading. So under the dead load, when I use the self weight command, then assign it to the view, you will see the plate will also, the plate is also selected because the weight of the plate is assigned here. No need to assign, use the formula to calculate the weight of the slab, that was the slab thickness multiplied by the unit weight of concrete, because through the self weight, this slab, the weight of the slab is also assigned. Okay, because here we have the plate in physical form, that's why through the self weight, this plate is, the weight of the plate has been defined and assigned through the self weight. So now come to the member load. I want to add the member load on the beams, like it is of a member load of 15 kilonewton, considering it with a sign of minus sign along the g y direction, and assign it to the beam which is parallel to x and z. Okay, come to the live load. So this time, no need to add the floor load here. We will add the floor load through the plate, because plate is available here in the physical form. Okay, you can see the plate is here. So we can add that floor load of 2.5 or anything through the plate load directly. The direction will be GY. Then we can use assign to view option, because this is a plate load, and when I apply this value, all the plate will be assigned with this load. Okay, it is assigned on the plate number, all the plate number is shown here. Next thing, going to analyze it. Now come to the concrete design. Before this, I will change the unit again, mm and Newton. Then concrete, Indian design code, that is the IS 456. Few defined parameters. So I will assign the FC value first, 25. FY main is 415. This FY secondary. So here, when I apply the FY secondary, it will be assigned to the beam and column only, not on the slab, because in our StatPro software, we will not get the soft BBS for the slab. Min main of 12 mm, okay. Min secondary of 8, ratio of the 4%. Then in the commands, now we have to add design beam column and design slab also, because here we have the slab. Now just see, when I assign the FC to the view, you will see column, beam and slab everything has been assigned with the FC. Same thing happened for the FY main. Let's see. When I applied the FY main, column mean and slab, everything is getting with red color. That means it has been assigned. Now see, I'm going to assign the FY secondary. Here, please see it very clearly. Only column and beam has been selected. Slab is not getting this property because secondary reinforcement means stirrups detailing, and in the slab we have the software will give you only the area of the steel, not the detailings. That is the size of stirrups, spacing between the stirrups. That's why you can see here it is not assigned. Even it is not assigned, then how can it will show you the output? You can see it, the max main, that's the maximum size of the main reinforcement bar. That means it is showing the size of the bar for the beam and column only, not for the slab. Even we can't use the use cursor to assign. I'm going to assign it to the view. That means it should be assigned on the beam, column, and slab. But we can't. The software has a limitation. That's why it will assign the value for the beam column only. That means for the member only. Okay. So now ratio, yeah, for the design beam. Assign it to the design beam. For the column, and for the element, you can use the assign to view. Only the slab will get the property. No need to select the slab through the plate cursor. Run the analysis one more time. This time you will get the output. So here you can see we have the concrete design for the beam and column only. Still, you can see we give the command of the design element. Still, you can see in the output we will not get it. We will not get the concrete design for the slab. So now come to the beam. Just double click on the beam. You will get the area of the steel and summary of the steel also. That means 12 mm dias 2 bar at the top is thing, and for the column also. Now after the columns, just below the column, here it is the element design summary. Here element assembly means the details of the plate, but here you will get only the reinforcement percentage, sorry, area of the reinforcement at the top and bottom. Okay, at a different spacing you have the different amount. You can see it. Sometimes it is 184 square mm in 1 meter cube area, 1 meter square values. So you can see it here, it is written. So by this you have to calculate it manually or use the RCDC for this, for the BBS of the slab also. Okay, that is the procedure of cutting. So here it is the takeoff and all. Now come to the post processing. Okay, no, so here it is the plate result. I want to see the absolute stress, maximum absolute stress. So you can see it like this. If I apply the, if the plate was created through the add plate option, that is in the, let me open the analytical modeling. In place of meshing, if I use the plate through the, add the plate through the this method, that is the add quadrilateral plate, then this data of plate stress can't be shown through the software. That is the difference of the add plate option. Here you will get a single color plate only. Okay, so this is the plate stress data for the post processing. You can see it if you want. So the top principal major stress, you can see it. This is the live load, and if you want to see it for the dead or any other, you can see it according to that. Okay. So in the report, you can add this data also. Last time I just explained we can't add the base plate stress values. This time we can add it into the report also. Okay. So up to this point, if you have any doubt, then please ask. Uh, Gurpreet, I just didn't see your message. Just checking it. Please let us how to. I think I just cleared this topic also. Yeah. So for the moment release, you have to provide the point where to release them. Okay. So it can be released through the specification option. Just going to show you. Come to the analytical modeling. Then under the property tab, here it is so in the specification, it is a specification option. This type of member release can be done on the beam, so we have to select the beam here, and here we have the release option. So is it is going to release from the start point or from the end point, and it is the partial movement release or release type is release, then you have to select this value according to that. Then after, you have to select the beam where you want to release. Okay, so that is the procedure of release. uh, I will share a stat file for this, because we have a very limited time duration for our course duration. So I will share the example file. Okay, uh, with the Hemant sir, then he will share this file to you. So I will, after this session, I will mail that file, and maybe today or tomorrow, till tomorrow, you will get that file. So in that file, you can check the member specification through this. Let me explain it one more time. So you want, if you want to check the specific member release values, so go to the specification menu. So either click on the specification directly, then here you will get the details. If I'm then select them and click on the edit, you will get the edit option. Like I'm just going to create it. So it is a start point, and it is a partial movement release, and it is a release pattern. So just click in and add them. It is releasing in along the fx or in any direction. You have to provide this value, so you will get it according to that. Then you have to assign this value to that particular beam, like here. So you can see a symbol of member release like this. Okay, so I will share the file, a complete project file, so that it will be very clear to everyone, because in a limited time period, explaining all the topics is very difficult. So it will be better to share a complete project. Okay.